Welcome to another episode, a primetime edition of Let's Talk Broncos. I'm Bree Maestas here with Zach Seegers and Joey Richards. Guys, how are you?
I'm doing really good. I had a Cicerone beer test today and I passed it. So I'm really happy about that. I'm excited to podcast with you guys, talk about the Broncos a little bit, get our bold predictions out there, probably win again. Yeah, I'm happy about all of that. Zach, how are you doing, man? You're on mute.
You're
I'm
on mute.
muted. I'm doing great. I'm wondering if Bree's primetime thing was intentional because, man, I'm excited. We might finally have some good sports news, some good football news in the state of Colorado. LTP, let's talk prime. I'm excited for it. Get on the Deion Sanders bandwagon or get out of my face. And also, if you don't possess the self-confidence to believe you could take on an 120-pound marsupial, go to a Tony Robbins seminar.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
It's insane. Bree, how are you doing?
I mean, I was fine, but I kicked off my night immediately jumping into the same conversation that we've been having for the past 72
because
hours.
You started it. Let's be very clear about how this started. You keep bringing it up like Joey and I were itching. Like the moment we got on the podcast, we were like, Bree, we got to bring up an argument. No. You called up a good friend of the show, talked with them about it for half an hour, and then got on the podcast and went, hey, fellas, we need to rediscuss this settled debate.
Let me wait. Okay, well, I'm saving it for the end of the podcast.
We gotta save
where we can have a real debate about this. But
yeah, we have much more important things to talk about.
People are just the issue is, and then we can move on. People are lacking self-confidence. I think everybody in the chat can fight a kangaroo. I think everybody on the podcast can fight a kangaroo. Exactly. If you go into it,
we believe in you.
But the issue is, I don't think the people without the confidence will win. I think that they'll try to run. No, you need to attack the kangaroo head on. Anyways, I'm ready to move on.
Thank you for giving me the permission to get off of this subject, but we will be bringing it back later. So feel free to drop it in the comments. If you're watching over on Twitter, you got to jump on over to the YouTube or the Facebook stream so you can get your questions and comments highlighted for tonight's episode of Bold Predictions. The Broncos take on the Ravens on Sunday. Guys, I don't know. How are you feeling about the game overall?
Overall, Zach, you start. How do you feel about the game?
Not great. It's this team is much better than the Broncos. I don't remember who said it this week at Broncos practice, but one of the media guys, we're just kind of like hanging out, waiting to go onto the field. And they were like, yeah, it's tough. This Ravens team. I mean, they're better on special teams than you. Their run game is really good, and the Broncos defense is pretty average against the run. And then their defense is a lot better than the Broncos offense, like every defense is. So it's really hard. They're kind of at a disadvantage in all three phases. And I think it's really the first time you could say that all season because the defense was so elite beforehand. And they were showing no signs of cracking. And now all of a sudden they're cracking. This is a matchup that lines up horribly for them. The Broncos offense is what the Broncos offense is, and the Broncos special teams is what the Broncos special teams is.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, there's not a ton of confidence going into this game for me. In the Broncos' favor, that is. Like, the Ravens are just a really good football team. They're a really good football team. Their defense is really, really good. Like Zach said, their run game is awesome. Any Lamar Jackson-led run game is going to be solid. And then I don't know. It's just like it's a team that's really, really been struggling compared to a team that's pretty good. So I don't know. I just don't have much confidence heading into it.
I think that's completely fair. I saw what was happening, then I had to clear my throat. For everyone listening, if you're rewatching this episode or whatnot, we are going to have an additional episode where we'll do an actual breakdown for the Ravens game. Today, I want to focus primarily on bold predictions, but it's really hard coming up with them. I think that we were all racking our brains on what would be bold as opposed to what would just be kind of what's been commonplace for this Denver Broncos team. We'll keep it interesting today. We are asking that if you have a bold prediction for Sunday, that you drop it in the chat so we can react to it. We will be taking or leaving your bet. So if you're in the chat, speak up, have some fun with us tonight as we move on to the next part of our show. Who wants to give their bold prediction first?
I can give my bold prediction.
Let's go, Joey.
Okay. So this is a Mike Boone take. Mike Boone will be back this week. He practiced 3 straight times, I saw, and he's designated off of IR so he can play finally. And he is, and this is not saying a ton, right? But he comes on to this Broncos team, and I think he's the best running back by a pretty good margin. Honestly, I really do. Now, that's not saying a ton about Mike Boone because the rest of this running back room just isn't very good, if I'm being honest. But he brings explosiveness and juice that nobody else on this offense does. With his straight line speed, his ability to cut, he's also pretty powerful. I'm going with Mike Boone over 55 yards is my bold take. Now, I know I'm kind of playing with fire here. I'm going more and more bold. I won last week with my Brandon Johnson touchdown take. and I'm going a little more bold. This Ravens defense is really good, but Mike Boone, I think, is going to help the offense as a whole. And it only really takes 2, maybe 1 explosive run in an average night, and I think he can get it done. What do you guys think about that?
I'll take it just because this Broncos offense has had 0 explosive runs. They didn't have a carry over 17 yards until that Latavius Murray one. Now they only have 1. I don't think they're going to be in the business of doing a lot of that. I like Robert Armstrong. Well, I don't like it, but I think Robert Armstrong has an accurate score prediction. But yeah, I like your Mike Boone take there. Well, I like your Mike Boone take because I like Mike Boone, but I'm gonna bet against it happily. This Broncos run game is pretty terrible. I'm glad to see them lean into it a little more with Clint Kubiak. But I don't. They're also going to be playing from behind almost this entire game. I think that benefits me too. Yeah, I'll take that bet, Joe.
Okay, you'll take the bet. You'll take the bet. That's 1 drink you will owe me. Bria, you going to take the bet?
No, I don't think so. Well,
Ooh, 55 yards.
I'm going to have to. Here's the thing. Broncos run hasn't
For
been
a
able to
second
do
there, you sounded like you were lacking confidence.
I don't think I could beat a kangaroo. I would never come onto a public forum and say that I even had the chance. That's how much confidence I have in that one. But what I am afraid of is that the Denver Broncos run game really hasn't ever been established this season. Mike Boone coming back without much of an ability to practice with this team, coming back from injury. I don't think he's going to have an impact right off the starting line, because I just don't think that that's necessarily possible given what the run game has looked like. I know there was a point in time where a lot of people were calling for Boone over Melvin Gordon, but I don't think his receiving abilities were that great either. So he might have to just run it out and see what happens. But with Latavius Murray out there, I don't think it's going to happen, Joey. I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty half and half with your bold predictions. Today's not so much.
Okay. You know what, Brie, you don't have to say sorry because all this means is that you guys owe me 2 drinks. So I'm happy with it. I'm glad I picked one where that will happen, and I can't wait for next week.
Oh my goodness. Wayne King over on Facebook says, my bold prediction is I won't throw my remote. I will only cuss through the last 3 quarters. That feels pretty appropriate given what we're expecting out of these Broncos games. Zach, you're shaking your head a little bit.
I almost kind of went this route where I was like, the Broncos won't make you sad this week or something, but this Ravens game is a tough one to be making such a bold proclamation, Wayne. I love it. Love that we're getting bold here, and I will gladly take him up on it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to bet against that as well, Wayne. I think that if you're still here watching along with us, you're emotionally invested like we are as well. There's going to be some frustrations. There's going to be some frustrating times. I will not go boldly enough to say that they will not anger you enough to not throw a remote, but I am proud of you for trying to go down that route. I have thrown a thing or two. LTB will be watching the game together, so chances are one of us will toss something as well. Zach, what is your bold prediction for Sunday?
Yeah, I think I got a good one here. Trying to find one piece of data, and I don't see it, but that's fine. I'm going with Brandon Johnson. He is going to lead the team in either receptions, receiving yards, or touchdowns. And I think this is pretty bold because he's got 6 receptions for 12 yards on the year. So for him to lead in any of those categories this week, I think would be pretty impressive. I'm annoyed that Joey beat me to my Brandon Johnson love. Brandon Johnson was my guy since OTAs, since rookie mini camps, and I was there and I went, this Brandon Johnson guy looks like he has something. He's a no-name UDFA and no one's talking about him. Everyone's focused on this Jalen Virgil kid, but I think Brandon Johnson might have something to him. And we've seen flashes of it these past few weeks. I think he finally has his arrival game this Sunday against the up and down Ravens secondary.
There we go.
I feel like it's a little bit cheating off of what Joey already picked last week, but I'll allow it. And I'm just kidding. I think that's probably a safe bet. I think it's probably a safe bet given what we saw last week. That was super exciting. And the fact that he got to keep the touchdown, the ball from that touchdown instead of Russell Wilson keeping it for his 300th touchdown pass of his career. That was pretty cool. I think that shouts out to Russell Wilson for giving the Rook his first touchdown ball. That meant a lot to him. I'm hoping to see another big game from Brandon Johnson. I will not be taking that bet just for sheer hope. Like, I hope that it happens. I like it.
Ooh, one other point that kind of bolsters that one. Courtland Sutton is now questionable with a stomach bug. That was some big news that came out today. That's going to definitely impact the Broncos' chances, as will the fact that Jerry Jeudy finally looks like he might play this week. I did not think there was a chance of that on Wednesday or Thursday. I know K'Wan Williams was limited in practice. In like 20% speed walkthroughs, they were turning to a saying Bassey. So I wouldn't get my hopes up on the K'Wan Williams front. But Jerry Jeudy was getting some good run today. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays on Sunday. That could be huge for the Broncos wide receiver room. I could see a world where both Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy play. I could see a world where neither of them play. Either one, also a possibility. It's a total crapshoot right now. But there's a chance that breaks in a way that favors this Brandon Johnson prediction.
Okay. Here's the issue with it. Here's the issue. And Zach, can you repeat exactly outline one more time and then I'll get into it? Zach?
Yes.
Can you outline what the bet is one more time real quick?
Oh, he'll lead them in one of their receiving categories.
Oh. Okay, I'm not taking it. It only has to be one, so it could be like receptions, yards, or touchdowns?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm not taking it. Not doing it. Not
doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
6 for 12 on the year, and he's been activated 2 weeks. He's averaging
I feel like Zach, to make this a bold prediction, you need to say you need to decide which category he is going to lead in.
I don't think I do. You always try and make my bold predictions. You try to put me in a corner. I'm not taking it.
It's not that bold. I mean, he's okay. Who are the best receivers out there? Jerry Jeudy could miss the game. Courtland Sutton looks like he could miss the game.
Greg Dulcich. Bree, get on Joey. I can't believe this Greg Dulcich situation.
No, but all he has to do is one. Like, Greg Dulcich had the better game, but Brandon Johnson only needs to lead in one. Now, if you did two, I would take you. If you chose which one, I would take you. But being that it could be any of them, like, oh, he led a yards per route run or something like
yards
that.
Per route run, yards, receptions, or touchdowns.
Could be receptions.
I'm not taking it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I think there's a good shot he does. I just don't see. There's a scenario where the Broncos, he's literally maybe the best Broncos receiver out there. There's that chance, so I'm not doing it. Can't do it.
That seems weird. It's like you're arguing for why it would happen, but why you wouldn't take it. Because like, so you're telling me it's probably going to happen. You don't want to lose this bet.
Yeah, I'm not taking this bet. I'm not taking it because if Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton don't play, like Brandon Johnson should be one of the leaders in at least one of those categories. If he's having a solid game, he will. If Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy aren't playing.
All right. You were talking about Dulcich being left out of the melee here. Wayne King says, seriously, though, I think Dulcich will be targeted 5 times this week. That's pretty bold, given I don't know if Russell Wilson even knows where on the field Dulcich is at points in time, which would lead to my frustration and why I did not pick Dulcich for my bold predictions. Because although I think it would be bold if he is targeted or receives 5 targets on Sunday, Russell Wilson would have to find him first, and I don't think that that's going to happen.
And Kendall Hinton, like to Joey's point, even if Jeudy and Sutton don't play, Brandon Johnson's at best the 3rd best receiving option out there.
Okay. All right. Russ Armstrong says, Russ, 0 TDs, Murray 1 TD, and Russ maybe will hit 150 yards. Robbie, it's all up, but I feel like this is just an average stat line here.
I like it. Like I'll take him up on it for pure specificity. But it's so funny to me that we're at this point where people are making bold predictions for 150 passing yards. That's depressing, but also pretty funny.
And 0 touchdowns.
And 0 touchdowns.
I'm
going out on a crazy limb here, but I think Russ is going to have a 0 touchdown, 150-yard game. Woof.
I mean, maybe if you like him, that would be bold.
Yeah, if you were hitting the under on that a year ago, that's what it would have been. It would have been an under on that line, would have been bold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes. Painful. I hate this reality.
If this game goes in the scary direction in which I think it honestly could, let's say the Ravens are just walloping the Broncos by 20, 25 points or 24 points, I could see the Broncos removing Russ from the game and benching him.
This one's really bold.
Because I'm looking at like 2 interceptions and a really ugly quarter. Not looking great. It's bold. It's not what I want to happen, but I could see this being the game where
does it have to be performance or like what if after the game they give us another like torn lat story or something?
I think that whatever happens. Like if he's pulled for any reason during the game.
Okay, he will not play all 4 quarters.
Correct.
I'll take you up on it. I think he'll stay in there, but I do think there's a reality, whether it be injury, he's already beat up allegedly, depending on who you want to listen to for that. The Broncos would say he isn't. Some people would say he is. That's a curious situation. That could cause him to be benched. But then even just last week, it looked like Nathaniel Hackett was this close to pulling the trigger on it. And at a point here, and I thought, who said this? Maybe it was on radio. I listen to so much Broncos stuff. But like at a point, it was Cody on radio this morning, was talking about how at a point, like Hackett's going to have to start firing back in the media. Like you've seen the leaks from Russ's camp on Hackett and kind of some stuff burying Hackett now. You're going to have to see Hackett start firing back and defending his own reputation here. Or not have to see it, but you probably will at some point. Maybe that happens by benching Russ, which I think he'd be smart to do. I think Brett Rippon operated the offense better despite being a lesser talent.
Yeah. Bree? I'm taking your bet. 1,000% taking your bet. That is my take. I think you have to. Russ is going to play all 4 quarters because he hasn't shown me that he's the type of guy to not. Like, I think that the Broncos have too many eggs in the Russ basket at this point to do a mid-season benching in year 1. So I think that I'm going to definitely take that. And I think it would take like a really bad game, which I guess is possible. Like if Russ goes out there and he throws 3 picks through the first half or something like that, I guess I could see it. But Do I think that's going to happen? I would bet Russ plays better than that. So I'm going to take you up on that bet, Bree, for sure. Yeah, but it is bold. I have to give you credit there. It's a very bold bet.
I feel like you're taking the easy way out, and I understand that. Who would even think that at this point in the season, we would be discussing something of this matter? I think it's unprecedented. That means I feel like the next level of this simulation that we're all living in is calling for some unprecedented moves. I don't know.
Zach again to time. Zach again to time. Unprecedented moves like taking on $107 million in dead cap space. Yup. Do it, Denver Broncos. Do it. It's crazy to me that there's as much pushback on this as there is. $61-46 million dead cap split is super ugly. Is it a lot uglier than a $55-35 million dead cap split? No. That's what you get for waiting a year. Instead of 61-46, it's like 55-35.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like nothing. That's like nothing. And the cost for those, you're paying $15 million to handicap your rebuild for a year. Why are you paying $15 million or getting $15 million? Sorry, you're getting $50 million to handicap your rebuild. How about we start with a fresh rebuild and spend the $15 million now? I would like a clean rebuild and for the Broncos to finally get this thing right for the first time in 7 years. That's what I would like.
I guess it's just so crazy. Every time we get into this conversation, it's a little frightening. Bold predictions.
It's not that bad. It's not that
bad. Sorry, I was reading a comment real quick. Sorry for all the audio listeners. You didn't get to see my confused face as I was trying to figure out what was going on. If you have any more bold predictions for us, please drop them in the chat. We want to react to them. But I will go ahead and highlight some more. Wayne King said, maybe Russ gets the stomach bug and getting passed around and they sit him. Maybe there seems to be a bug floating around. Like, I honestly don't think that that's like way out of consideration here. Cal is saying, Bree, it's not your money, it's evil Walmart money. Thank you, Cal. Appreciate that. Alrighty. Guys, how do you feel about the holidays being just around the corner? Are you listening to Christmas music?
No, I'm not a Christmas.
I'm not listening. You know how when you hold it, I love Christmas music. And you know how when you hold up a seashell to your ear and you can hear the ocean? That's the type of way I feel when I pick up assignables.
Zach, it's just such a great setup here because I wanted to let everyone listening know about signables. A cool new way to display your fanhood in your office, home, or fan cave. Signables are flat footballs with digitally printed signatures on them of your favorite players. That includes soccer. World Cup still going on, still really fun. If you're waking up early on Saturday and you don't have a signable, you need to change that immediately. They also have the likes of Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I think a guy, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, they're in there too, but they're a great gift for your favorite football fan this holiday season. You collect your favorite player or your favorite team by going to check them out at signables.com.
Zach, you got anything spicy to say about the signables?
They're so good. Get a Christian Pulisic one. If you want Broncos, if you want Team USA to beat the Netherlands tomorrow morning, do your part, get a Christian Pulisic signable.
Of course. Anybody has a Christian Pulisic signables at this point. I mean, you have to be, are you even rooting for your country if you don't have one? I don't think so. You need one. Christian Pulisic is what was he called? The LeBron James of soccer? That sticks with me. Go get one.
Hey, and you know what?
Captain
America is correct.
The U.S. isn't your country, or you're not a fan of patriotism, that's fine. They've got so many different soccer players. Get an Mbappe and root for France, or get someone else. I know 2 soccer players. Get someone better.
Did you just say an actual summation of 2 soccer players, like just in general?
No, I know more than that. I was just naming them quick. I said that, and then I immediately realized like Ronaldo, Messi. Do I know more than 4? Ooh,
Pele.
Good.
Oh, does it have
yeah,
to be
but
current
Pele, I wouldn't
players?
count Pele. He's done. Like I could count some guys that don't play anymore.
Mbappe.
I said him already. He was one
Oh,
of
you
the
already said
4.
Mbappe.
This
Okay.
is bad. We should get out while we still can.
This is the
I
Let's
know the
Talk
last names of
Soccer.
some of the guys on Team USA. I don't know everybody's first name.
I think I know what this question is going to be, but
Joey,
nonetheless,
take it away.
it's time for Joey's question of the day.
Okay, guys. Here's
Brought to
Joey's
you by
question of the day.
self-esteem.
Yes, exactly. All right, Joey's question of the day. This has been a conversation with Bree, Zach, and I for about 3 days now. Bree brought it back to the forefront tonight. Who do you guys think you could beat a kangaroo in a fight?
Yes, and let me frame it like this, because I think we're getting tied up in like the people are losing their minds a little here because they like watched Kangaroo Jack as a child and got scared. All right, imagine you're watching like Rocky or some boxing movie, and it's like in one corner we've got a 5'10", 180-pound guy, and in the other corner weighing at 120 and measuring at 4'6".
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, this is going to be a bloodbath. The 5'10" dude, the guy who's average, just the average human build, is going to crush this 4'6" guy. Oh wait, it's a kangaroo. Oh, never mind. Oh, I thought this was about to be a one-sided fight, and then I realized it was a kangaroo. I realized it was a marsupial we were talking about, and now I'm flipped. It's a one-sided fight in the other direction. No.
Okay, Zach, you know what? I'm not standing for this anymore because we were like,
dodge a kick. Dodge a kick. Don't just stand there like a statue and get kicked in the sternum.
It's hard to dodge a kick when you've been disemboweled. Kangaroos have been known to do so, not only because of their claws.
I'm not going to bend over and point up in the air for it.
He's not taking it through there. He's taking it through your like he's reaching in.
Can I make my case?
Disemboweling you.
Can I make my case?
Still for it. I'm not letting it.
Can I make my case? And then the chat's all going to agree with me. If you're playing, the kangaroo has a single move. If anyone played any fighting video game ever, you know that you'd be a disadvantage if all you could do is push square. That's all the kangaroo can do. They can have one move, and then everyone's like, oh, they kick so hard. Here's the issue. Do you think you hop into a fight being like, I don't know, that guy punches hard? No. You expect not to get punched. I don't know where all this is coming from. They have one move.
They're not kicking like Bruce Lee, like ha 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 ha. They are bouncing back on like their tail and like throwing them up in the air at you. They're like leaning back. And also when they punch, they're not clawing like a vicious tiger or anything. Pull up look up kangaroo fight on YouTube. The first videos from like National Geographic, and they're sissy slapping. They're going like this.
Okay.
And they're 120 pounds and 4'6". Have some self-confidence.
Exactly.
We're not saying we beat a tiger. I'd lose to a tiger. I'd lose to a bear. We're not crazy. We're saying the 120-pound marsupial, which is like a rodent, we got it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hear that, but you're severely discounting the build of a kangaroo. Are you 50% like muscle? Like, are you built to the same build as a kangaroo is? A normal man would probably not be able to fight at the same strength because animals usually have higher bite strength, grip strength, kick strength than any human has possible. And kangaroos are actually within that hindsight, like their hind legs are super strong, so powerful they can jump up to 3 meters. That's 9 feet 10 inches. You're telling me you can fight against that like a transformer?
What if we're not in a jumping contest?
We're not in a jumping contest.
You think it's gonna jump and then come down with like a suplex? I don't care what the kangaroo, how high it's jumping. I don't care. The kangaroo, it can only hop. I know its lateral ability is not like that. They've never seen somebody go right then go left that last minute. They've never seen that. It's running by you. We're talking about the straight line speed. This is like the John Brown.
Bree brings up a valid point on like the muscle percentage or like the body fat ratio and everything. And it's true. Those things are ripped. But after we've been arguing about this for 3 days. After a lot of internet research, the only videos we found of dudes fighting kangaroos are like unathletic dudes, just normal everyday Joes. One punched the kangaroo in the face and the kangaroo went, oh, like about it. And then the other one was like an old retired man who saw a kangaroo on his front lawn and just like pushed it over and then like put it in a headlock in like 2 seconds. And that guy looked like he hadn't done athletic activity in a decade. I think we're really overrating the kangaroo.
I think you're severely underestimating how quickly a claw to your stomach would cause massive internal bleeding.
Why did that happen to the retired guy then? Why didn't he disembowel the retired guy who had him in a headlock?
Why did you ask the kangaroo? I don't know why you fought the way that he fought.
Here's my exactly. That's the issue.
They can't fight. Not Bruce Lee.
Yeah, it's like the football player with all the skills in the world but can't play football.
True, no coach.
That's what it is. They don't have the skills. They have the natural ability, but they don't have the skills. These kangaroos can't fight. They're not fighting animals. Like they might square up. I've seen that before online, but I've never seen the kangaroo win. Never won.
Fine. If people want to bet against me fighting the kangaroo, I'm fine with that. I'm a smaller fella, but like the average adult male is whooping a kangaroo. I think I could whoop a kangaroo. You want to bet against me? Fine. I would prove you wrong, but like have some self-confidence, people. Like
the claws are cool, but if it doesn't know how to claw, I mean, we watch the videos.
They go like this. And again, where was that when the 50-year-old guy pushed it over? Like, I'm just saying, watch the tape. And the tape has shown that humans embarrass kangaroos in hand-to-hand combat.
He pushed it over and put it in a headlock. Any animal, hot take. Any animal that you can
put a 5-year-old. It looks like a 5-year-old.
Any animal that you can put in a headlock, I'm not afraid of. Hot take. That's all we got.
Oh my God, I cannot believe we've spent so much time on this. And you've swayed me absolutely zero because I don't think you're winning in this fight. I don't think either of you are built that way. I think you go in there. I think you'd put up a good fight, but I'm going to go ahead and start writing your eulogy.
I'm just saying.
We will schedule the pay-per-view fight.
I've seen plenty of videos of humans beating kangaroos in fights. I've seen 0 videos of kangaroos beating humans in fights. And like that was just for like, oh, this kangaroo's on my lawn and annoying me. Like you put life and death on the line. Humans winning, and it's like it's not even close. It's silly.
Christopher, why are you personally attacking me, Cal? Like I don't know what to tell.
Cal's right. Cal's right. I'm embarrassed for you too, Bree. I want you to believe in yourself more.
Let's check the Twitter poll results.
Wait,
we have 2 different. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Christopher Hart says you can put a venomous viper in a headlock. And Christopher Hart, I don't know if you've ever watched the Animal Planet, but they're putting vipers in headlocks all the time. Every day. The humans are destroying the venomous vipers on like a daily basis. This is exactly my point. We are destroying the venomous vipers out here. Like
And on that same chart that started this whole debate, like Cobra was right next to Kangaroo, and Joey and I were both like, we're not fighting a snake because that's poisonous. It gets one fang on you, you're done. You're done. The kangaroo is not venomous, Chris. The kangaroo does not have deadly venom. That is a sizable difference between the two.
All right. We should probably get off.
Okay, we'll get off this subject, but I wanted to read the poll results because you've got the Let's Talk Broncos poll running right now. Could you beat a kangaroo in hand-to-hand combat? Yes is at 26.9%. No is at 42.3%. And what is wrong with you is at 30.8%. Thank you, LTB listeners and followers.
In our listeners. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
We also have a second poll out. Friend of the show, Mile High Mario, wanted to settle the debate. Could you beat a kangaroo in a fight? 100%
this is framed, so unfairly.
Has 10%. Yeah, I guess. 2.9. Absolutely not. 22.9%. And with a resounding 64.3% of the results, not even 2 on 1. I rest my case. Thank you so much for having fun with us. I mean,
Cal's comment got you. I'm saying just have some confidence in yourself that you could beat a kangaroo.
It really is a self-confidence issue. That's what we're good. That's what I have to say.
I have plenty of self-confidence. The fact that you keep fighting me on this shows that maybe you guys have a little work to do.
Doesn't think she's a marsupial, people.
I'm 5 5 on a good day. Like, I don't think I'm going to take out a
So
kangaroo.
you've got a foot on a kangaroo.
They're not. I hate this. I don't even know. Guys, where can everybody find your stuff?
Everybody, go follow me at JR Giraffes. I am going to put a piece out. I'm going to start writing it now that I passed that test I needed the study for and all of that. On what the Broncos' biggest needs are. So make sure you're reading that work. That's going to be out on Mile High Sports. I'm going to get cracking on that very shortly, I think tomorrow. So make sure you are looking out for that. And then Frankie and I do a show every Thursday. I saw Wayne King comment on that earlier in this chat, and I wanted to say thank you to him for saying the same thing on Twitter. So I appreciate you for listening and enjoying it. For sure. Yeah. So Frank and I draft podcast. Make sure you listen to that every single Thursday. And then make sure you guys are part of the Let's Talk Broncos Facebook, the Let's Talk Broncos YouTube, the Let's Talk Broncos. If you want to talk to us, the Discord. We're going to start posting on Instagram almost every day. That's like a thing that I want to start doing. So make sure you're following the Let's Talk Broncos Instagram. And I might post that on Twitter in case you guys want to see that. Yeah, that's all I really have. Zach, where can they find your work, man?
Yeah, check out that, check out that draft show. It's fantastic. It's up everywhere you listen to podcasts, and YouTube on Let's Talk Broncos, and Facebook Let's Talk Broncos. Great stuff from Joey and Frankie there, getting me up to date on all these prospects. What do I have? Of course, January. Perth, Australia, get your tickets. Thunder Down Under, I'm taking on an adult Western gray kangaroo. It's going to be pay-per-view. It's going to be live in person. Just make sure you look into that. Get your tickets now while they're cheap. Discount code Marsupial will get you 20% off. And then between now and then, I'm going to be training a lot, so you're going to be missing out on some articles, but you can find all my written work over at milehighsports.com, and on Twitter, I'll have shorter blurbs at Zach_Seegers, SEGARS.
I'm not even going to try to top that. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow as we preview the Ravens versus the Broncos. Catch us here Monday through Saturday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, that sounds about right. You can also catch me over on the Fan Cave, 1 to 2 p.m. Mondays for Mile High Sports Radio. We'll talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good night.